Do you plan on going camping with your family this year? Well, today we're going to show you some basic equipment that you can use for going camping with your family.
You're the owl.
I love my sister.
Sometimes you want to try something new, and if you're trying to camp, you may not know what to buy right at first. So today we're going to show you just the basics, not a lot, not the big, huge, large amounts of things you need for, maybe camping on the side of a mountain while you're rock climbing. Today we're just going to show you the basics of what you can do, just throwing it in the truck with the family, throwing it in the back of a van, and heading on out to your local campground. If you like parenting videos, homeschooling videos, or general family fun videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe and ring the bell so that you get all of our future content. Stay tuned at the end so you can see how you can win an amazing painting and maybe even another giveaway that we have coming on this channel. So keep an eye and get all the way to the end, okay? So the first thing you need when you're camping is your foundation. Oh, we gotta really work on our folding skills here because this isn't exactly tacked, but you'll need a tarp. So you always want to make sure you have the tarp to lay down to go underneath the next big important thing, which will be your tent, but we'll get to that in a second. So your tarp is very critical. You can even get a free tarp if your tent is small enough by watching the coupons at Harbor Freight. So first thing is get that tarp so you don't get too wet underneath the moisture coming up at the bottom of your tent. Now, building from the bottom up with your foundation, the next thing you're going to need is your tent. So use the tent based upon your family size. And so this one, I believe, is 4 to 6. Honestly, last time we went, we had 5. It's a little cramped. So you may want to be able to even go a little bigger, especially if you have bigger kids, get a bigger tent. So the next thing you're going to need, it goes in the inside of your tent. And not many people use this, but you can get them at Costco, Big 5, pretty much anywhere that has kid type things for the floor. I mean, you can get the colorful ones. We found these black ones, which are really great. And you put these, you interlock them and put them inside your tent. So adds a little bit of padding, but you don't really want to sleep on this straight. But it really keeps the moisture from coming up. The tarp works well, but this actually keeps it out even more, so you're not going to get that cold air coming up in the bottom of the tent.
It's really fun for kids to set up too.
All right, and now the next thing is going to be what you're going to lay on. So you have your different type of camp pads. So these ones are self-inflating, and you have little valves here that once you unpack them and unroll them, you just twist that out, and they actually start kind of have a memory foam, and they blow up in there and get nice and soft. So they're a great way to have at the bottom of your floor there to go underneath your sleeping bag. Yeah, that one worked out well. So you get your sleeping bag as the next one. These will go underneath your sleeping bag. It's a good thing I threw that other one, otherwise I might have had this going right in the fire. And it's a good thing we have it off. When you're picking up a sleeping bag or purchasing a sleeping bag, make sure you know the time of year you're going to go, because they usually are rated for various temperature types. And if you get one that is rated for too cold of weather and you go in the summer, you're going to overheat. And if you have one that's rated for a summer temperature, maybe just to 30 degrees, and you go in the wintertime, you're probably going to get frostbite and maybe not make it out alive. All right, now I see the next one. My wife has something in her hands, and yeah, she's not going to throw these ones. So your tent nails. Now, honestly, the ones that typically come with the tents are flimsy little things that you hit them once with a hammer and they bend in half. So you're going to want to buy some nails that are much thicker. They have a thicker gauge and they're not going to bend as easy. Honestly, the only times I've bent them is when I have them too deep in the ground and trying to yank them out, I have to pound them back and forth. Which, here's a tip. If you are actually camping and you find that you get your nails stuck in the ground and it's through the nylon or the mount of your tent, and you can't just yank the thing out, although if you have a good hammer with a claw, I forgot my hammer with the claw last time, so that's why I bent them. But if you're stuck in that spot, just get the hammer and hit it back and forth a number of times. Eventually it loosens up in the ground and you can yank it out, but you may lose the nail because it'll bend. Now, there's nothing like sitting around a campfire, but you don't really want to be on the dirt when you have your campfire, so you want a nice pop-out chair that you can take with you. They pack nice and light. They actually have a bag, but we took it out so you can see it, and these work great. They have armchairs, they have cup holders, so you can put your hot chocolate when you're at night.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now the next thing is going to be good. It's a multi-purpose deal. You can open this up and put it down in front of your tent. It actually is also, it's ultimately a picnic blanket. We get these ones at Costco. Usually they have them in the summertime every year, but I know there's different ones. You could probably order them on Amazon. Big Five could get them. Target probably even has some type of just cover picnic blanket, and they roll up nice and tight, and it's a good way to put your shoes on when you go into the tent, so you're not getting everything trampled on when you walk in with your shoes. Our next piece of equipment is actually going to be something that's going to be useful for the stuff we're going to show you on the later part of this video. So it is the table, so that you can actually fold it out and set it down for all the rest of your gear when you're needing to eat. When you pack up, you're going to need something to make sure that you clean up, because you do still track in dirt and pine needles and all kinds of other stuff as you camp. So you'll need a broom with a dustpan so you can get everything out.
Now we're going to go over kitchen setup. Alright, so there are 3 types of camping. There's roughing it, where there's no water, no electricity, and then there's other campgrounds that do have some water available. Might be questionable if you can drink it or not. She'll go into that in a second. And then the other kind has water and electricity. So we're going to go over those.
If you're dry camping, or even if you're at a campsite that doesn't have as great as water, we have this aqua water thing jug, and I can't get it up. So, how did she do that? I guess it's not that heavy. This particular one has 7 gallons, but you can also get ones that have 5.
And if your campsite has electricity, you can bring one of these electric kettles. But if not, you can also bring just one of these regular kettles and a gas stove.
So I'm going to talk about the gas stove. So it's great. It does have 2 burners, and you do have to have propane. Is this propane or butane? Propane. Okay. And it does hook on there. It's got the little hook in there. This is great. It folds all down, and you can cook just like a normal meal, any normal day on this. It does have the little wind protectors though. So if it's windy, your cooking might be a little slower, but it's all right there, ready to go. Pretty compact. And a frying pan. Don't forget a good frying pan. This is great because you can put it actually in the embers of the fire or on the grill. So a lot of campgrounds will have a grill that you can put it right on top of, or you can use it on your gas stove.
What's this so funny?
Frying pans, who knew, right?
Frying pans. Who knew?
Right? Depending upon your menu, you may need this to cook chicken and burgers, or if you're a vegetarian, then you may want one of these to cook veggies.
Everybody eats veggies.
That's true. And this too, if you're bringing packets of chili or other things like soups, you can always bring a pot. And then one last thing is this. It's really nice for cooking vegetables and chicken and all those other things.
Oh, and don't forget the foil because you will use it for everything, especially popcorn.
Covering the tops of pots with popcorn, or if you forgot a lid, you can use it as a lid, or you can just wrap some food right up and put it on the embers.
In it.
What?
You can have your kids.
Wrap your kids in it, just keep them warm at night. And you're going to want to get a really good skewer for marshmallows and hot dogs and anything else that you can think of to cook on a stick. Just be really careful not to
No.
hit anybody with them, because once these little babies cook, they are sticky.
And also it's nice because these ones extend
These
and
extend.
they move.
These ones rotate, so you don't have to do the extra work it takes to hand rotate them.
You're going to need a hot mitt so you can get your cast iron off of your gas stove. You're going to need a skewer to poke your chicken to see if it's done. You're going to need knives to cut your vegetables. I'm being very careful. And then paper towel.
Paper towels and the holder there. great. Everybody needs that.
You're also gonna need a spatula just in case you're gonna make eggs or burgers. That's nice to have. And then a scooper.
That's a ladle.
Ladle.
It's a ladle.
A ladle for anything like
Soups and sauces.
and sauces. Yeah. And then these to get things out of the fire. Tongs.
Tongs.
And then a can opener.
It's no fun to get to your campsite without a can opener
And
and
then
you
you
have a
open
bunch
it
of
with a
cans.
spoon.
And then do make sure that you have a
A
cutting
cutting
board. That, because a lot of times camp tables are not very clean, and usually your own personal table is covered with all your kitchen stuff. And another nice thing to have is a little cheese grater. You can use this for some veggies and cheese or whatever you need to grate. And then this is a colander, great for, again, washing out your fruits and veggies, whatever your menu brings, whatever your menu needs. So then a mug for everybody, and a bowl for everybody, and a plate. Now we like to do plastic versions of plates and bowls, but sometimes it's nice to have the backup of the hardy ones in case, you know, you leak or you need that one.
Yeah.
But if you can cut down washing, which I'm going to talk about next, you do need a wash tub. What was that?
And a
Oh, that's
scraper.
scraper for your camp,
Pans.
your camp pans, and a sponge. That really helps. It's also great to have a spray bottle with soap and water already in it. You can use one of these laundry baskets to put all your plates and dishes in and go wash them at the fountain at your campground. And that's kind of a good way to do it, or you can just fill up the tub again. You can have some rope and some of these little clips, little laundry clips, to hang out things that need to dry, and just string it from tree to tree. And then trash bags. Don't forget trash bags. You will definitely need trash bags.
And you're also going to need your own personal water bottle for all the members of your family.
And you're also going to be needing flashlights to go in your tent and also for the personal things in your basket.
We like this one because it's lantern style, but having a few flashlights as well as even a headlight is a really great idea.
Yeah, that's really good.
So just a few notes here about camp menus. I like to go pretty easy, but I do kind of like to have one important meal that I involve the kids in making that kind of gets it. It's really over the fire, but lunches are really great as just some lunch meat and some sandwiches, and it's easy. Everybody can make it. You can pack it to take on a hike. And breakfast, I like to have something kind of pretty much ready to go. You can pre-scramble your eggs, and you can bring bacon bits and kind of make a breakfast that's hearty but not necessarily going to make a huge mess of your camp kitchen. But dinner, I usually like to do something on the grill and over the fire, something kind of wild.
We are going to be talking a little bit about clothing, so layers is always good. So we have tank tops, leggings, jeans, and overtops,
Top coats.
and then
big
coats.
jackets. And also you need shoes, and make sure you have closed-toe shoes because you don't want to get a busted toe.
Ooh, and make sure you have some flip-flops in case your campground has a shower, because you don't want to go in the campground showers without shoes on. Ew. Just a few more tips here. You do want to have extra blankets because it does get cold. Depending upon how close you are to water too, it will get even colder. And we come from a dry area, but we usually go to somewhere that's more damp, and so we get so cold at night. Even if the temperatures aren't all that low, you'll still feel it in the night in your tent, because the tent doesn't hold out any cold. So definitely bring more comforters and everything, and just make everybody nice and cozy. It's just a pile of blankets in there with the sleeping bags. But a really good way to warm up in your sleeping bag is to turn over and over and over and over a couple times in your sleeping bag, and it warms you right up.
But Mommy,
Fun trick.
if you turn around in your sleeping bag too much, will you get tangled up?
You get tingled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to kind of be careful as you're turning around. Do make sure you have a good first aid kit with you that's well stocked, and also some bug spray, and know your area if there's ticks. Always, have the kids be careful with all the knives and being careful around the fire, especially if you have little kiddos, that you're really keeping a very, very close eye around the fire. I know we've been having some fun talking about things, but of course we're always very, very careful, and we encourage you to be very, very careful too, and just keep everybody supervised and have lots of fun.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today on our camping adventure here. And honey, looking at all this kitchen stuff, it's really a good thing you did this, because you standing off camera wouldn't have been safe for me.
Throwing it at you.
Yeah, I didn't
Especially not the
Just camp
knives.
pads and sleeping bags.
I'm not a knife catcher.
All right, we are trying to get our channel up to 500 subscribers, and you can help us and by subscribing and hitting like and commenting, and be entered to win this original painting. This is featured in our video about how to understand the moon, and if you are camping and out underneath the stars, you're definitely going to want to understand what the moon is doing. So you can win that, possibly be entered to win by answering today's question of the day. Genevieve,
And
what's the
today's
question?
question of the day is, where is your favorite spot to go camping?
Yeah, so answer where is your favorite spot to go camping down in the comments below, and be entered to win this original painting.
And make sure you do watch that video, because you'll want to know whether you want to camp on the new moon or the full moon. Because if you're going somewhere without much light, you'll want to know which one is which. And I'm not going to tell you, so you can watch that video.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and comment down below, and turn on notifications, and also follow us on social media, and also click these videos somewhere around here.